Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay, and before I get into this I have to preface this match because something really weird and coincidental happened here. So 20 minutes ago I was watching the latest video from Halby Starcraft. I guess by the time this makes on my channel it won't be the latest anymore. But basically Halby faced two gateways built inside of his base, so it was a sort of cheese. And Halby held it off, but it put him really far behind. I'll post a link to that as the thumbs up link, so I won't spoil the ending. But we'll just say for the first part, it put Halby behind. And I wanted to show him like a really simple method, like a really cool and simple method that I use that makes it a really easy win to counter that strategy. So I actually sent him a video of when I did it. And this is a small coincidence in itself. I was playing a guy named Failure, and the guy Halby was playing was called Failure, and the last time I faced it was 9 months ago. So my video from 9 months ago was the same guy. So basically one dude's been doing the same cheese for 9 months. I can't believe he's not bored of this game yet doing that. So yeah. I just had, we went back and forth a little bit in the comments, and then I was done with that video, so I just loaded up Starcraft and decided to play a match. And having not faced that cheese for 9 months, and being in the Master League, where I'm pretty sure it's almost impossible to make a Master League by cheesing. Diamond you can make it, probably not Masters. I'm going to face the exact same cheese. On the exact same map as Halby, in the exact same positions, and he's going to put the gateways in the exact same spot, which is up here. So how is that for a coincidence? From 9 months ago, thinking I'd never see it again, until immediately after playing a game, or watching a video on it. So my opponent today is a blue Protoss Citon 0. He's in the blue, and I'm in the red, in the bottom left. And I'll get rid of this name tag, because I find it a little annoying. And there's his initial probe, making it into my base and throwing on a pylon. And I'm just building my first supply depot now. Now after I make my first supply depot, I like to use the same SCV to make a barracks, but there's a little time I have to wait to get the money for that barracks. So I'm like, well, I just watched a video on 7 game cheese in this exact position, so maybe before I throw it on the barracks, I'll just poke up here first. So I rarely ever check for this stuff. If I am going to check for it, I will check for it on Zelnaga, just because it's a small 2-player map, the smallest 2-player map left. And I do spot it. So I'm going to go and throw my barracks down on the bottom of my ramp. Wherever you do throw your barracks, you have to move it to the my ramp, so you could just build here immediately. But that's key to my counter. I sent another SCV up there just to make sure it was a gateway, because I wasn't sure if it was a forge or not. But now that I see it's 2 forges, I know exactly what to do. Or, now that I see it's 2 gateways, I know exactly what to do. If it was 2 forges, it would be pretty easy too, so that's a big waste of money. And the way it works is once the second gateway finishes, I've won the match. So building my second barracks on the low ground here, and you're going to want to finish this wall off with a supply depot. Or you can even just wall off with these 2 structures. But you need to get your SCVs out, because this is the idea. We're moving our command center to the natural expansion, transferring all the SCVs, and kind of attacking this probe while I wait. And you want to make Marines from these 2 barracks. Now the second gateway did complete, so we've won the match. And he's even chrono boosting out more zealots, which is just putting us further and further ahead. So we will pause it here, and I'll explain why I did this and why it's awesome, and what options Protoss have, and why none of them will ever work. So first of all, you guys all know if he built like the proxy gateways out here, all you have to do is wall off your ramp and you're fine, because he can't get at your mineral line. Well, this is the exact same idea. He built his gateways on the inside to avoid that problem, so I moved my base to the outside. This problem exists again. Now there's a wall between him and me. Why I build the wall on the low ground? Just so it's an invulnerable wall, because if I built it at the top here and did the 3 structures, whatever this middle structure is, be it a barracks or a supply depot, I can only repair it with like 1 or 2 SCVs, because that's just the space I have, or he can surround it with as many zealots as he wants. So he can just pump out enough zealots and cut through it. So I didn't want that, but if you build on the low ground here, the opposite is true. You can only attack with a small number of zealots, just whatever can fit, maybe 4 on this barracks, maybe 1 on the supply depot, and I can repair with as many SCVs as I want, so it's completely invulnerable. So basically every penny he's built up here is useless. So the 100 on the zealot, useless. The 300 on these gateways, useless. The 100 on this pylon, useless. These next 2 zealots that come out are going to be 200 of useless minerals, because none of this stuff can get at me. The other great thing for me is his base is naked. I can come and kill this at any time, and that's what's going to happen. And the only defense he has is over here, and this defense cannot defend his base because it's got this invulnerable wall between us. So what are his transition options? Well, you got to be thinking Forge or Cybernetics Core. You either get Cybernetics Core and a refinery and start making stalkers to cut through here, or you can throw down a Forge and use like a cannon to cut through here, or a cannon at home to defend your base, or you can throw down more gateways in your home base and try to make units there. But all of those strategies can be countered by one thing, and that one thing is just go kill them. And that's what I'm going to do. Notice I'm not making the orbital. That's so I can afford to do non-stop production from these barracks. And once you got maybe 3 to 5 Marines, looks like I'm going to move out with like 5. You want to go just kill his main base. Probably a good idea to even go earlier. Maybe with your first 3 Marines. You'll have to pull a few more SCVs though, so you need enough to kill this. So if I brought 3 Marines, you'd have to bring maybe 6 SCVs. But here I go. 5 Marines moving out, and pulling 5 Marines afterwards. You can delay the SCVs a little bit, because the 5 SCVs move faster than 5 Marines. If by some chance he does this on a map that isn't a 2-player map, you should spend this time before you move out to find out where he's located. I guess if he's map hacking or stream cheating or something like that, you could do this on a 4-player map. That seems like if you play legitimately, it seems like a strategy that would only work on a 2-player map. And probably only this one, because it's only one small enough. So here we go, I'm inside his base. I wasn't able to get a cannon complete, and now he's screwed. Even if you got a cannon complete, just, if his cannon's here, just move over here, just shut down his mining. And now that he's vacated his base, I'm going to leave these Marines to do whatever and send the SCVs back home to continue mining. My macro failed a little bit, so I'm going to throw down a 3rd barracks. Plus I'm going to have mules now, so I feel like I'm going to be able to afford a 3rd barracks. But just continuing to pump out Marines, pump out Marines. He's going to come at me with some probes, and I'm going to micro this pretty poorly. And I got some SCVs and auto repair that I don't want to. But again, he can't even mix the attack of his probes and his zealots, because the zealots are still on the far side. And yeah, he has nothing coming in. He can afford to make a couple of stalkers, actually. I'm surprised he didn't. Oh, I took the cyber core down. But he could have afforded to make, well, almost afforded to make 2. He can make 1. Oh, that's GG. And yeah, that's the way to turn this into an automatic win. Just a quick review. When you spot this, and you don't have to spot it fast, because remember my response is to do nothing except for build 2 barracks. And even if you build the 2 barracks late, it's still probably okay. But basically I'm doing nothing, and you just keep making SCVs here. You don't want to transfer out early, because you don't want to spook them. You want them to let this stuff complete. You want them to make zealots. I left a little early, but basically once the 2nd gateway completes, that's the time to move out, because that's right before the first zealot finishes. But I think you basically have the game won if he finishes the 2nd gateway. Maybe if he cancels immediately, doesn't waste all his money on zealots, maybe he can throw up something here to keep himself alive, but he's still going to be behind. Because you're still going to be able to harass his main, and you're still going to be able to kill us off if he survives. I think no matter what he does, an SCV Marine all in will always kill him. And yeah, just use those 2 barracks and to wall off the low ground, and you're completely invulnerable. Remember that your initial supply depot will get chopped down, so you gotta make another supply depot in advance. And then just non-stop marine production. Once you got, say, 3 to 5 marines, go out with some SCVs and kill his main. And that is GG! So thank you everyone, and check the description for a thumbs up link, which will be that little Halby match. And in fact, I'll put up my own match versus Halby's opponent, which is by the name of Failure, which is kind of funny. Which is very similar to this game, so you don't actually have to watch it. In fact, it's basically exactly the same as this game. But it's a cool strategy. If you want to see it in use again, there it is. And with that, we'll call it the end of this video. Thank you everyone, and goodbye.